Ooh. Hello, punters. Welcome. What a big weekend of racing we've got. Sam Wood on location. Nick Lloyd at the office. Patrick at his office in the Sydney studio. Gentlemen, welcome to essentially Christmas Day for punters. I'm calling it. This is Christmas Day for punters. Nick, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Counting down really. We inbounds to Everest tomorrow morning, so it'll be a few sleepless nights, I'd say. Lucid dreams of the running of the Everest, no doubt. But yeah, looking forward to it, mate. Grand final weekend, Christmas Day, like you said.
Pat's been trying to convince me to go to the race because he's got no one to go with. What about Nick? Just go with Nick, Pat.
No, I need a travelling buddy. It's only I can't go anywhere.
He's young. He'll outstay you.
Oh, of course. I have no doubt he'll outstay me, mate. But he has got different goals, different adventures to go on Saturday, as opposed to me. I just want to go there, watch the races, have a few bets.
Look for a seat.
Look for a seat.
Was that a seat over there?
Drink while sitting down, or talk about going to sit down somewhere while
sit down.
Yeah.
Should we
Nick
find a table?
Before he goes, no. Nick said that before that he spent the whole day without a table, and when he said that, my calves started to cramp. Why'd you walk all day in boots? Jeez.
We actually stood in, we became a bit of a pest for a lot of people in terms of
I do not doubt that.
Yeah.
We were just blockades. The doors into the bookies ring there at the members at Randwick. We pretty much stood right there. We had all the bookies and we had a screen that was there, and we just stood in that doorway. So there was a nice cross breeze, 6 or 7 of us. And it's
where you can walk out the front there.
Yeah,
on to the right, and where the
correct. Yeah, so we pretty much just stood there. There was a bar that was closed. We had the bookie ring.
That would have killed me. I would have run through like a rhino there. That would have just annoyed the shit out of me. Imagine Mug would have been running back and forth through the.
That's where I saw the Mug. I was like, Mug.
You wouldn't have seen Pat because he's way up in the sky with the other boxers, and he was sitting down, so he's not going. He's not going. He sits in the aircon and everything. But yes, as the boys said, the Everest, huge weekend. Big weekend, 4 Group 1s, the Cozzy, the Everest. I mean, it's a plethora, gents. Where do we start?
Well, what about this? Caulfield Cup out, Caulfield Guineas in, lose nothing.
I like it.
It's like Cameron Smith out, Harry Green in.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
you pick up
jam-packed.
2 extra. Yeah, you pick up 2 extra Group 1s, and I think too, Caulfield Cup Day being on Everest Day has taken away from the Caulfield Cup the last few years. So I think this actually elevates the Guineas and the Toorak and the Caulfield Stakes and puts it on Everest Day, and then you get Caulfield Cup Day all but lonesome next week.
Completely
It's a
agree.
good move.
I feel like the Toorak and the Guineas probably more promoted towards that younger crowd, being 2,000 metre and mile races, the short and sharp, over and done, as opposed to the 2,400 metre race where we don't even have a lot of staying races in Australia currently in the programming. So it's not like everyone is super duper familiar with the superstars running around in it.
You're right.
It's if only you were there, you could pat him on the head. So throw him a treat. I mean, the Cozzy, look, we might keep it a little bit loose as we have the last 3 weeks. We won't have the 45 seconds timer because there's just too much to go through. I know you guys will have standouts in the races. I even have a few opinions myself, guys, so strap yourself in.
Does that mean you opened a form guide?
What?
No. We have a subscription to Best Bets. I'll just read that.
One day I looked through your browser history and there was nothing in there about race news.
Do not mention my browsing history here, please. Don't be so rude. In fact, boys, can we just make a promise? Can I get you guys to make a promise? If something happens to me driving home or anything like that from Sydney, get all my devices and delete the browsing history, please. Don't be fragile with it. Just get my phone and laptop and throw it straight in the bin, please. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you don't want your wife to see how much form you did.
Yeah, form. Sorry, I thought there was a P on the front of that. Palm.
Oh God, move on. On you go. Zamet would love this lowbrow stuff. He would
I know. We I don't know what's happened to Zamet. He must have got caught up in a meeting or anything like that. Matthew Zamet now.
I don't know. He was one Pepsi. I had to get a second Pepsi Max.
Oh no!
That's how long we waited.
Do you sell vending machines at Sydney-wide discounts? You've got these. They're full of Pepsi Max.
Well, I'll say yes, but we don't. Just see if anyone walks in and asks for one. I will if someone walks in and asks for one.
Hi, I listened to that podcast, and you sell vending machines.
Yeah, sure. This one's just no money, and you just open the door and take the drink from out of it. It's called a fridge. Yeah. Okay, so where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the Mind Power? We'll go through Melbourne, finish off in Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. So we'll kick it off with the Might and Power. It's 2,000 metres, Caulfield, race 7, Group 1, Alligator Blood. Nick, you press the buttons. You get some Alligator Blood stuff going for us. I don't know if you know how to do that on the pots and pans. Oh, they're nowhere near him. All our prices are courtesy of our good friends over at Dabble. Alligator Blood currently $2.30, Just Fine $3.90, Duais at $5, Lindemann at $15, Nonconformist 17s, Here's a Shocker at $19. It goes on and on. Vow and Declare at $41. Great race, and Pat, I'm sure you can kind of kick us off here. What are you liking and why? Do we need to ask this thing?
Well, what I can say is, if you have borrowed money off anyone, just for anything, like working around the house, whatever, and they are tipping you Duais this week, do not expect to be paid by Monday. Do not expect to be paid that money by Monday.
Nick, you're a Duais fan, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
It is 80 weeks between wins, and it's probably going to go to 81 after this race. I think the programming that Waterhouse and Bott have mapped out for Alligator Blood is absolutely brilliant. To find this race that looks like a bloody tap-in Group 1 for it is just the best rap on their training ability ever. And I think it's going to run away with this quite easily. This could win it like it's a trial. Just Fine heads up there out of the Metro. I think dropping back 400 metres and adding 9 kilos to its weight is not going to help it. So seeing it at 40.
How does that look for its prep heading into a Melbourne Cup too? Does it do it any favours dropping back? And
I myself wouldn't go in something that I would back through that sort of profile, but you know.
No, I'm talking about in its prep. Like if you were one of the many owners, do you sit there and go, well, hold on, what are we, 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out from a Melbourne Cup?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be an issue, would it? Because you've got to the Cox Plate's been the race to go into the Melbourne Cup of late. Like it's not like horses are going up to 2,400 and then into a Melbourne Cup.
Well, I would to see it go through the Caulfield Cup, but they said it would have copped a penalty out of it, so I understand the reasoning behind it. So
just a bit odd.
It'll be going fifth up into the Cup, but still, this is just a run around here. Just have a run around behind Alligator Blood. Watch the pace car. It'd be like that cycling event, the Kieran.
Ah, yes. Yeah. That's the one with the 2 bikes and they kind of play cat and mouse.
Cat and mouse?
But where the motorbike, they've got to follow the motorbike at the start.
Might have got to follow the motorbike. Yeah.
Alligator Blood will be the motorbike and it will just zoom off when it hits the straight and say, see you later, guys. Have a good race for second.
I hope you're right. It's nice to see AB another Group 1 this prep. What about you, Nick? What are you liking?
Oh, it's hard to argue that. You're
you
right.
hate Alligator Blood, but...
I don't hate Alligator Blood.
Oh, you
yes, do. Yes, you do. You just have a tone in your voice every time we fucking speak about it.
I know, it's ordinary too.
It's an ordinary tone. It's attitude.
Ordinary tone for an ordinary horse.
No.
Oh, see? You were a part of that Group 1B winning discussion.
Yeah, well... What does this look like to you? Like, if it was a serious Group 1A horse, it'd be in Sydney in the King Charlie, would it not?
This looks like a well placed tap in Group 1.
Not arguing, and that's why he's going to be awfully hard to beat because this is a low race. Like the Turnbull was your Group 1A last week, and then now you've got this little B set. Little B set in between. So yeah, he's going to be extremely hard to beat.
I have no doubt that this assembled field would make Might and Power a little bit sad.
Correct. It probably hasn't quite lived up to the hype. Like last year this race was Animo, I'm Thunderstruck, Zaki. I think Alligator Blood might have been thereabouts. But in saying that, I think a horse that's low-key flying this preparation is Forgot You. This is a lot tougher than what he has been in. But in saying that, he was 18 months off the scene when he went first up behind Mr. Brightside. He was really good from a bad gate there. He hit the line nicely, got beat 4 lengths, and then he was 4 lengths again behind Pinstriped and Attrition at Moonee Valley in the Fee. And last night he looked all over a winner at Sandown, back to sort of open handicap conditions. And I reckon they were just a little bit too cute on him. Like watching that replay, he just sort of travelled into it and never really let him hit the line. So up to 2,000, he can run a race at big odds, but it probably wouldn't quite sit right if he was a weight for age Group 1 winner though.
Oh, Nick, when you play hide and seek, and everyone's already been found, do you still go looking for people?
Sometimes.
I think you forgot your meds this morning, Tim, and that horse. That's a chance. Got beaten by 20-odd lengths at Randwick, didn't it?
Yeah.
This horse, I don't think this horse... Look, I actually remember it's like...
Lock me in here.
Yeah, so we're putting it... You're obviously getting locked in, but I'm trying to say, like, the class... Last time I was in this class of race... Yep. Oh.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, do it. It'll just keep recording our end, I'd say. But yeah, he obviously has lost the plot because he finds it. It's the sun in Queensland. Sometimes he goes out. Sometimes I see Nick. He walks straight out front door of the office and looks directly in the sun, holding his eyes open.
Oh, mate, I knew this from Easter when you said that all the eggs had already been found and he was still out there looking for more.
It was July.
Get inside,
yeah.
Nick.
Look, I think, I don't know. Look, it might not necessarily be a tap-in for Alligator Blood. I really hope you're right. But yeah, let's move on. Let's head to race 9 at Caulfield. It's the Caulfield Guineas. And... Wow, I think we may have a standout. Let me just get my Dabble app open again. It's always open. It's always just sitting there ready to rock and roll. Militarise, and it's actually probably one of the better prices. This and Amelia's Jewel, a good price with Dabble. But Militarise is currently $2.80. Stapati $3.80. King Colorado at $8.50. Elite $13. Wolfie at $14s. V8 at $16s. Pat, one of yours, Nick, as well, Centify at $18. I can't remember who tipped Centify on this, but someone did. No, Southport Tycoon. I like that name. Boys, what are we doing with the Caulfield Guineas? Have you got an opinion on this, Nick? Because you came out very, very firm a couple of weeks back saying that Militarise is a better horse than Animo. Do you still stand by those comments?
Yeah, and it'll just support my claims even more when he wins the Guineas, because Animo won the Guineas. So I think I like this when the top weight's the best horse in the race and looks the complete standout, and you don't have to
scroll down.
Don't have to scroll any further, really. Like this horse, you just can't knock it. And I honestly don't know how it's not odds on, because he's drawn a little bit awkwardly, but keep in mind, what's he drawn? 13. 12. Animo drew 13 when he won it. So good horses can overcome bad gates. He's going to be in a similar spot. He'll be 3 wide with cover. Joe Moreira's 3 from 3 on him, and they're all Group 1 wins. So this horse has won a size. He's won a Champagne. He's won a Golden Rose now as a 3-year-old. So he's just the best 3-year-old in the country. He'll win.
I have to agree with that, to be honest with you. I tell you what, though, before we get to you, Pat, are you with or against?
No, mate, I'm going for a bit of value in this race. I still look at
here we go.
I still look at Militarise's last win and say the first 9 horses finished within 2.5 lengths of it, and think it might be a more even bunch than we expected. I've watched the replay of that Golden Rose 100 times, and I reckon I still don't know how Militarise picked the bid up and won it. It seems crazy. Like, it was a big win in the end. Yeah, but I what if it just switches off this race and doesn't unleash that sort of last little burst at the end? Yeah, no, it didn't run away from them. It just got its nose out in the end.
Now goes to the mile. He'll win this. This will be.
Yeah, he'll stretch. This will be a better win.
This will be a more impressive Caulfield Guineas victory than what the Autumn Sun was.
Geez, a big call. What about the honour roll? The last sort of 30 years of the Guineas is absolutely like superstars that have won it. So, I'm tipping a bit of value. I'm going for a bit of value here. I'm happy to set Militarise aside and say I think less than $3 is a bit short for me when it did finish in that blanket finish. It is coming up against a horse that's gone 5 out of 5, and I'm not even going to tip that. I'm going for V8. I think he's dropping all the gear off it. I'm hoping it has one more run in its prep. It was a great it's a great horse that was starting at $3.40 last start. We're going to get 20 to 1 about it on the weekend. Copped a bump out of the barrier last start. Was running around all over the place like a pogo stick. I think if it switches on, we can expect a lot better run from it in this Guineas. And at 20 to 1, I'm happy to take the risk.
Well,
it's come in quite a bit from 20 to 1, I think.
Yeah. What's it at?
16th.
You'll be pleased to know.
So there's been a bit of support for it.
Yeah, I think I've had 300 on it at $6. So
at $6.
$6.
So there was.
You been following my futures tips?
I'd be averaging out that, but
yeah.
You do realise the reason for futures is to get better odds.
Well, I know, and that's why I thought I would get on before
I was unaware.
That last start, because I tipped him last start against Stepardi. That's when I called. I said V8 is going to eat Stepardi alive, and yeah, like barrier 1's perfect for him. Like I think Militarise will win, but if he doesn't,
the worrying thing with it though, it seems to jump out and turn right. It's done it a few times. Which
Militarise?
I'm
V8.
No,
V8.
I'm hoping they get on top of that for this run, because last run it jumped out and just went straight into the thing outside it. Going back, its run before, luckily it was from the outside barrier.
Yeah.
Jumped out and probably went out at 3 or 4 horses as well. So
I think Bubble Cheek is on, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, Bubble Cheek are offside and they've dropped off the crossover noseband. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind the little bit of a gear change. It was obviously in the market and expected to run up to Stepardi. I look at that finish too and see 4 or 5 of them go across the line at once and think, are they as good as they think coming out of that race?
Take the one that was 3 legs behind him.
Well, I looked at its run, mate. It was
about. I was all over it that day. No, I agree. I hope he wins.
And you've got to give a good horse a bad run. You've got to.
You can forgive him.
Let one go through the keeper.
Yep.
Just forgive it and forget and take 20 to 1 and.
Yeah, silly.
I just can't get the vision out of my mind, or like a premonition out of my mind of Militarise coming out. It's got what did you say it has? 12. Plenty of time, getting a good position, settle off speed, and just Joe Moreira, just what we've seen 1,000 times, him just weaving through the pack here or getting it out the right side, being very, very long in this horse and just absolutely coming down and swooping on this field. Yes. I just can't get out of it. As much as I see that you both align with, that V8 should be up there and $16 is a silly price. And I know we do look at place bets because we've got to keep these bets, which we're going to be fucked trying to keep these bets under a certain amount with 5 races in here. But yeah, go Militarise the place. $4.38. I don't know. Not a worry. Not a worry. Absolutely not a worry.
I'm not sold. If anything else wins it in the race, I hope it does. But
he got bumped around that last race. Like was it that last race or was it the
Golden Rose?
The Golden Rose, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was still a bullish win. Like it was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it was super.
Took him
And the form will be franked an hour earlier in a bigger race than what the Guineas is, let me tell you.
And what race is that,
Oh. Give us something, Nick.
We'll leave that to the end. You can put your other tips
Give us
in at the end.
what do we could call it Nick's pick.
We'll be doing
that
race.
Oh, you're talking about it's a Sydney form race. Gotcha.
Yes,
Apologies.
gotcha.
Nick's pick and Pat's
pit.
pick also.
Pat's pit. The money pit. Throw it in.
We're doing the porn guide. Pat's porn guide. All right, we're going to have to come back to this because I'm not entirely sure how we're going to bet this race. But like I said, I think Military is one of the better bets of the day. So how we do it, I don't know. Right now, what I'm going to do is I might just chuck it in a play. I'm going to chuck all these horses in as a place bet, just so we can keep it under there, and then we can go back and see who we want to put in there. So let's head to the last race of the day at Caulfield. It's the Toorak Handicap, 1,600 metres. It's on it. Let's just keep this in mind: 10-6, 10-5 in Queensland. It's a late.
Mate, Amelia's
Group 1.
It'll start at $1.30.
$1.12. I was thinking it'll be wings odds for the get out stakes. Before we get started, Nick, I think we got your take. What do you? Or if we didn't, we'll head to it. Pat, thoughts of the last race of the day being a Group 1?
It doesn't give you anywhere to get out, but at the end of the day, it's a great race, and I don't know.
What's Toowoomba? A ham sandwich?
There's no Toowoomba this weekend.
What? Where are we?
I don't know.
In England, they run the Group 1 races in the first 3 races, so I don't know.
Literally what we said in the
we're at the bottom of the world. You flip it upside down. We do it like
right,
so.
I like it. I actually like it. I like just having a big, especially if you got the kids' parties in the Arvo, or you're at the beach or something like that. You get home and you're sitting around the dinner with the family and throwing the Group 1 on. 10-6
is too late for me. Come on, guys. I want to get on a bus into the city and start the nighttime shenanigans.
That's what I said. Like, imagine if you've had an afternoon down at the pub and the Group 1's on at 6 o'clock. All throw in, pub turns to club. It's a beauty. What do you think, Nick? Did you mention it in the TV pack? I can't remember if you liked it or not.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of strip outs before the last race in the past, and haven't had any money left for the Group 1s. So that's irresponsible.
But I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, just with your budget.
Yeah. I budget for race 6, but in saying that, I don't have to worry about it because I got a fat futures ticket this year. So the bet's on. And
tell us about your fat futures tip.
Kick us off. I'll just tell you now. Currently, with Dabble, Amelia's Jewel is $2.20.
What price is Pinstripes?
Let me scroll down. 18.
Oh, what number is it? 27.
Yeah, it's right down the bottom.
4.
Number 4.
I was just pretending to scroll down. That was just a bit of dramatics. Theatrics for the podcast. What is it? It must be number 20. No, it's 4. It's 4. So is this your fat futures ticket? Talk us through Pinstripe, why you think it's winning, and tell us about the ticket you got on it.
Yeah, so I'm on at $51 after his first up run this preparation. So he ran in the race last year. He ran 6th. He carried 52 kilos. I think he's got 56 this year, so he goes up 4 kilos. But different horse this preparation and sort of the last 12 months, I guess. Like, he won back-to-back races towards the end of last preparation at Sandown and then Flemington. And then he returned. He ran second to Mr. Brightside. He was super that day, and he started $6 against Mr. Brightside. What price would he be here? And then he won the Fian. So, that gives him Cox Plate exemption. They could have run in the Turnbull. They could have run in the Caulfield Stakes and really sort of tried to stretch him to that 2,000 and see how he went in a Cox Plate. But they've kept him at the mile. They've kept him at the handicap conditions. He's drawn barrier 11, so he's going to have Amelia's Jewel to his outside. Maybe Ben Allen might play a little bit of Kieran with Damien Lane and a little bit of cat and mouse with him and try and keep him out there. So look, I think Pinstripe's a great great each way bet here. I'm only on him straight out, of course, at $51, but who knows? Maybe he'll beat the fave.
Well, the money that you're prepared to go out and buy that first round of drinks after the races with, I'm saying make sure you have it on Amelia's Jewel, and then you can buy the first 2 rounds. Because if you have that bet on Saturday, I could imagine that there'll be plenty of mugs money just going straight onto Amelia's Jewel being the favourite in the last. And I reckon there'll be the massive tip about it. There's a huge story around it.
Yeah.
I think it will be starting very, very short on Saturday.
What's his name? Simon Miller. Apparently, he's a bit of fun.
Yeah, he's
so
a bit
they
of
have
fun.
him on the telly, sculling schooners and stuff like that.
Yeah, the owner's a bit of fun. I think this horse is favourite for the Cox Plate. It'll toy with this field and run over the top of them and win easy. Tap in.
She is a dead set. Like we spoke about it with Alligator Blood, but this horse is the equivalent, like the epitome of running in Group 1 Bs.
What's wrong with you?
Well,
this is just
seriously, like if they wanted to see how good she was, like go to Sydney and run in the King Charles at Weight for Age against the proper horses.
But there was a reason for that or something. They couldn't do it.
They could have.
Still do it. She can still do it next year, though.
Yeah, she's got time.
I don't know. She's not going to win a Cox Plate.
You'd wake up cranky on Christmas morning, Nick.
No, I woke up very happy this morning. I woke up at like 5 o'clock. Woke up, dreamt about 10 House of winning the Gloaming.
He's got that ticket about Pinstripe, and he just looks at it and goes, "Only Pinstripe, only Pinstripe."
I don't know.
The blinkers on. Amelia's Dream at Caulfield, please.
Excuse me?
Amelia's Jewel, sorry. Amelia's Dream. Amelia's Jewel.
Amelia's Dream would have eaten her. Yeah.
I think this horse as well, mate. What about it? It flashing the quokka over the 1,200 metres. Unbelievable watching that race. It looks like it's in a different bloody game to the rest of the other horses. I don't know how it didn't get over.
Is that the race where it got beaten?
Yeah, run second.
Yeah,
but only 1,200 metres. But its turn of foot is absolutely...
It too. It was a photo, wasn't it? Like it was just... And it was...
Come to Melbourne. It's proved it can do it.
What the quack?
What the quack? Yeah, just lock Amelia's Jewel in here, mate. Let's move on, eh?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Pinstripe. Good luck to you.
Thanks. Yep.
Good luck to you.
Probably need it.
Good luck to you, but...
Good luck in the last race, punters. Love it.
Hey, actually, before we move on for that, I know we've still got another 2 to get through. Antino. Now,
he'd be good in
just
that
giving,
wouldn't he?
just giving it no hope. Like I just haven't seen anyone. Like it was
Darius 17. It was death.
Oh, okay, right, okay. I mean, there's a bit of money. It's starting to get a fairly decent drift on it now. Like I think it's $4.50 at $7. But it was moral beaten at Flemington. Well, I reckon it was like where it was squeezed in on the fence. Came out 1 cent. We're talking Sandown, but you know,
that was
like that was.
It's a nice horse, mate, but it's
got to be respected. I think
it's probably closer to Group 3 class than Group 1 class, and even these Group 1Bs that Nick says, it's probably not up to that standard. Obviously, I'd never say that around Tony Gollan because he'd probably bash the shit out of me. But
why? What do you mean, Tony Gollan? Is he a fighter?
Yeah, he's an old footy player. He's just a solid bloke.
Solid Queenslander, yeah. A bit like myself.
We're all solid Queenslanders, to be honest with you boys. We're all good Queensland fed beef up here. So grass fed beef. Well, obviously we're lucky in Amelia's Dream or Amelia's Jewel. What do you reckon?
Amelia's Jewel.
I'd rather
go Jewel. I'll go Jewel.
It's not a Mashani race. It's not 10 Amelias in it.
Cut a few Amelias. All right, do you want to do the King Charles first, then finish with the Everest? Let's keep the listeners holding on. Mr. Brightside into $2.25. Sorry, it's the inaugural running of the King Charles Stakes, 1,600 metres, Randwick, race 9. Group 1 status, $5 million up for grabs, which is phenomenal. Yep. Phenomenal. Mr. Brightside, what a fantastic horse. I sound like Zamet then. Well, what can you say about this horse? Mr. Brightside, $2.25. Fangirl, $7.50. Zaki, $8.50. Light Infantry, man, $10. Think It Over at $12. Kovalika Nick, $16. Tommy Berry on board, and Buckaroo, the other Jason O'Brien, is $21. Now, Mr. Brightside is what are we looking at? Hasn't lost a race for what? Well, not this year, not this prep, not
6 months,
not this prep,
since the All-Star Mile.
It lost
so
1-2.
Was it February?
Yeah,
it's 2, 4, 5, 5 wins in a row. It's going all right.
Going well.
And Nick, how do you class these Group 1s that Mr. Brightside's been winning?
Oh, he's Group 1A.
Group 1A. You'd be great on the programming committee.
Yeah. I would
Mr. Brightside is a dead set jet. It really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
He's probably the best horse in the country.
We're not breaking any headlines here, but it is an absolute jet.
Had the conversation with the boys last night about trying to get my money back for not backing it at all this prep or in either Doncaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I just cannot find anything in this race around it. If it is, I can't say if it is the best horse in the country, because from what it's done, it probably is the best horse in the country. So there's nothing to not tip it on top in this race. When you said, what were we saying before that was keeping you up at night? The Think It Over trial for me is keeping me up at night, and I'm sure it would be keeping Kerry Parker up at night as many ways as he tries to spin that it's come out of that trial okay. I don't know if you boys saw it the other day where it dropped out to last and kept extending the margin behind the second last horse. Something was obviously amiss there, and
the stable were very quick to come out and say, "Oh, it's all good."
Well, they couldn't come out and say what they wanted to say. Holy shit!
It's fucked.
Thank God we weren't putting our money on there.
No one saw how bad it was going because it just dropped off the screen.
Absolutely awful. And I would have loved to have been putting it somewhere up there. Same with Light Infantry, man. It was here last year. I don't know what did. They say it's gone back and been running behind good horses, but it couldn't come out and beat our good horses last year. So, what do you do with it?
It sucks.
It hasn't had a win over there since, has it? Like, it didn't go home and then just ran it for a couple of wins. Like, I think there was a few seconds, a few placings around there, but I don't think there was any.
That's right. And their excuse is that it was running behind good horses. And then you've got Fangirl down the bottom who's run behind Think It Over and Zaki, who can't have. So, yeah, I just think Mr. Brightside, it's done the job here over a mile. I don't see why it wouldn't do the job in this race over a mile. Another horse at $2.30, $2.35. This is one just to get into that multi, isn't it?
Saturday really could be like for favourite backers, like especially in these big races. It could be
seekers.
Yeah, it could be a dead set fill up for a lot of people because you've got obviously Militarise, Amelia's Jewel, Alligator Blood, Mr. Brightside. You got Opal Ridge and the Kosciuszko. Like there's just a few horses.
Obviously, multi these up responsibly.
Yeah, gamble responsibly.
Multi them up because you can't be backing them outright. You know, there's going to be no millionaires, and I guess there's no
doubles, and just roll them over.
Have a Trixie.
Have a Trixie for a Yankee. No, you need to have a.
Nick, can you give me anything outside Mr. Brightside in this race?
Canadian.
Yeah, well, look, I am with Mr. Brightside. I think he's definitely the horse to beat. I think he's he's probably the best horse in the country. He's definitely top 3. So yeah, I can't really add much more to what Pat has already said. Tell you what though, Kovalika was terrific in the Epsom. He's one horse I think can measure up to weight for age. I know that was handicap conditions, and now he stays at the mile when maybe he's looking for 2,000. He should have gone to the Caulfield, the Might and Power Stakes at Caulfield on Saturday, because he would have won that. I'm convinced. But in saying that, he's going to get a good high-pressure race. Randwick will see. He was super in that Epsom. And he's measured up to weight for age before. Like, he ran third in a Doomben Cup off a foot ulcer, off a bit of a setback. So less a race, but Huetor and Numerian beat him home there, and I think he beat home Zaki, who's shorter in the market here than what he is. So Kovalika's the one to include in your Quinella with Mr. Brightside.
I reckon there'll be a few thrill seekers throwing in Regina too after its last start.
Yeah, but how could you when it now meets Kovalika 4 kilos worse and had all the luck?
But it keeps sticking.
Yeah, that Kovalika run was pretty good.
With both Kovalika and Regina, that I can't see how they beat Mr. Brightside, but I can see how punters would be putting their money on them at 20-1, 70-1, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Fangirl's probably she's the second best horse in the race on what she's done, but Barrier 2, she could be a long way back and buried away on the fence and just flashing into a nice third or fourth.
It's got to wind up and run past a lot of this race. It's probably going to have a similar comment by the jockey after the races, say, and a tissue would have, where it's nice run in transit, just couldn't get the luck, and we've run home well.
Yeah. Didn't take the gap when I first wanted her to, and we just had to wait for a few horses to get out of the we flashed home.
We've run home well.
Yeah, encouraging. Look for
encouraging. All right, well, let's just look. We'll just chuck Mr. Brightside in at the place. It's $2.25 at Dabble at the moment. We've got 4 in there. We're nowhere near. I think we're $3 a multi for the place. So we can go back and have a look at what we actually want to include as the win in there. And we just keep the stakes under $30, guys, Dabble, because Dabble are very, very good to us. We want to address this as well. They're very good to us. They sponsor the shows. There's no kickbacks, nothing like that. But they sponsor the show, and we don't want everyone following, a 60 or 80
6,
or $100 multi. And we fucking brain them, which, look, I actually don't care, but they are good to us. So we keep it under $30.
You can do what you want with your multi if you want.
The selections. Selections are there, so you can just do whatever you want with it. All right, let's get into the Everest. Let's get these prices up here on Dabble. Think about it currently, $4.60. I wish I win. Or one wish, one win, as Dan Carter puts it. $5. Private Eye $6, Cylinder $8.50, In Secret $10, Overpass $11s, Juanes Noches $13, Hawaii 5013s, Espiona $15, Shinzu $15, alcohol free 41s with first emergency, or not first emergency, sorry, the emergency, Bella Nipotina at 41s, and Marzu at $51 to bring up the field. Those emergencies, as we were talking about in the green room before we came on, Bella Nipotina, Zapateo, Valana, King of Sparta. If you do have a scratching, you can choose which horse to go into your slot.
I'm able to roll through these if you want, mate.
Yeah, give us your take on it, mate. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start at the top? Do you want to go odds? Do you want to go Barry's? Do you want to go numbers, colours?
Why don't we start from the top and work our way down? Me and Nick will go through a few of them.
I love it.
This can be the little preview of the Everest.
Runner by runner. Love it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me just get let me just go. We're going to start with the top of the market. We're going to start with the top of the page. I wish I win. $4.80. Luke Nolan, Peter Moody. Who wants to kick us off with thoughts on it?
Paddy can kick us. Oh, yeah.
I reckon Nick kicks off because he's probably a little bit more racing knowledge than me, and I'm a bit more punter and emotional.
No, let's do it. Nick, tell us. I wish I win.
Yep, he probably should be favourite over Think About It in my books. I know we had set up his 6 weeks, he's 1,400 back to 1,200, only second up, but it was just the perfect platform in that first up run where he just really peaked on his run at the 200, which Peter Moody would have been chuffed about. Barrier 1, I don't think it's an issue. He might be 3 pairs back on the fence, and they're going to be spread. They're going to be spread out. It's a $20 million race. So there's not going to be 6 lengths first to last, and those horses locked away. I don't think they'll be hard luck stories. So if he's there, if he's close enough and good enough, he can win.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's more of a emphasis being put on the Barrier, I believe, because it's so far between runs and people don't have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Because it's coming from a 1,400 Memsey into an Everest. I think punters have sort of shit their pants here and gone, what is Peter Moody doing? What knock can we put on this thing? I've got a bit of a knock on the prep, but that's up to the trainer, and I still think it can probably do it off that prep. but it's very unconventional, and I am happy to not have it on top because of that reason.
Yeah.
$5 with Dabble's really good as well. Like if you did want to back it, I know you guys weren't convincing anyone to go out and have that bet. But if you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking, actually, I wish I win. I trust me. I think $5 is the way to go. But yeah, watch Dabble. They're great in regards to that. It could run into a little bit of traffic. Maybe come around the turn in the straight.
I agree with Nick here, though. They seem to fan, and everything sort of seems to get a pretty good chance at the run of the line. So
okay, all right.
It probably just depends whether it's got to come up the fence, 2 off the fence, 3 off the fence. It will take a good ride, but I think it will get the space. Just can it do it coming off 6-week break, 1,400 metre first up? Maybe.
First runner of Joseph Pride is Private Eye at $6 with Dabble. Give us your thoughts, Nick.
I actually wake up in the middle of the night sometimes with nightmares, and it's Darren Flindell's voice going, "Private Eye, giga kick down the outside." I was on Private Eye last year, and I just don't know how he didn't win, because sort of where we were on the fence, like I'm seeing Private Eye and I'm like, oh, I've got him here, and then giga kick down the outside. But look, this horse, he goes like a rocket first up. That's one thing that I will say to note to punters. So he won the Gilgai 12 months ago down the straight, blew them away, and then he got his slot. He ran really well in the Everest, ran second. He went really good first up. He was 3 wide, no cover, sort of half slowly run from in that, what did he win? The Premier, the Premier, I think it was. So I don't think he can win. I think he can win. He's one of the, I suppose, leading hopes, but I think there's better chances in the race than him.
Yep. Fair.
As he gets older, seems to like Queensland less and less.
Yeah. I'm actually butthurt because he didn't win the Victory Stakes at the end of last prep. But
and then the report read don't think he like Queensland, doesn't like the sun on its back. Yeah. I think just prefer to stay in Sydney, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stuart's report. But yeah, I'm a little bit with Nick here. I think that its first up run was obviously excellent, just 5 wide the trip, stayed in its lane and was able to overpass at the end. I don't think it won't be able to run 5 wide in Everest and will need all the luck. And I'm of the opinion that there will be others running home quicker than Private Eye at the end of this race this year.
Yep.
Our current race favourite, number 3, think about it.
It's just getting harder and harder to knock him, isn't it? Because he's won 9 in a row now. That he's won a Kingsford Smith Cup at weight for age in Queensland. He's won a Stradbroke back to handicap conditions. And then he came out first up and won the Premier. And, yes, he got to the front too soon and he did enough to keep sort of grinding and finding the line. But I half worried that he might be already ready for 1,400 or a mile, because he's by so you think this is a horse that the connections thought was going to be a Cox Plate horse, and all of a sudden he ends up in the Everest and he's favourite. So I'm happy to be against him at the price, but I've been against him all the way through and he keeps winning and keeps pulling my pants down. So
yeah, one of those.
If he wins, it's like, well, what a superstar kind of thing, but I don't want to be with him.
11 starts, 10 wins in a second, and we're trying to knock this.
We're potting it.
Yeah.
And we're almost saying it's ready for 1,400 metres. It's only gone 4 from 4 over 1,200. It's the ascension of this horse, and it's like everyone says, that we haven't found the cap to it. We haven't found the ceiling. Of the 2 Pride runners, I thought I would have Private Eye in front of it, but after going through the race, I sort of think the improvement off the first run, for think about it, its record, the fact that there's no ceiling there, I see why the market does have it ahead.
Yeah.
I don't have it on top because, like Nick, I think it's probably more 1,400 out to a mile even. So, yeah, I think it's going to run a big race though, and its record is something to tip your hat at and go, fuck, if it wins, you just say to yourself, wow, why haven't I been with this horse more? Because I have been with it in a lot of its runs.
Yeah, I think I said as he won the Stradbroke and sort of standing on the fence there as he rocketed past, it's just sort of like, I probably should start tipping this horse. Like he's a rocket, he can win and he can go on and if he wins, he's got to be in the conversation for one of the best horses in the country, because it'll be 12 starts, 11 wins, an Everest, a Stradbroke, a KSC. Like, he's doing freaky stuff, and he's still so raw.
Bit of a Red Zell fairy tale sort of thing going on with it. It's going benchmark 72 at the start of the year to an Everest, all in 2023. What a year! Yeah,
this thing is airborne. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, even going back to that Stradbroke win, like how good was it? It's just,
I haven't seen a year this big since Selwyn Cobbo's first year in the NRL.
I told you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I told you to watch Cobbo. He'll play NRL this year. I think, personally, think about it's a definite bet. A definite bet. I think it'll probably go in. It'll start to... people will find it. There'll be more money for it.
I could see it starting shorter.
Much shorter. I think if you are, once again, well, we said with I Wish I Win, if you wanted to have a bet, maybe Pat mentioned leave it in. If you want to have a bet on Think About It, which I definitely am, is I'm really happy to take the $4.60 with Dabble right now.
Because I reckon it'll be the other way. I honestly reckon
I Wish I Win will come in.
No, yeah, Nick, just because the only reason I say that is because the number that he ran in at TJ Smith is just so far out on its own ahead of everything else that if he runs that, they won't see which way he goes. So I just think maybe punters will be more inclined to gravitate towards that and chip away at the $5. And think about it, in that Kingsford Smith Cup win, I think it was $4 out to $5.50. The Stradbroke, he was $2.80 out to $3.60. He was sort of really well backed into like $1.70 first up, and then he got out late. So the market, like, there's so many people, like what Pat and I have just said though, about how we kind of want to poke holes in him. So I think maybe the market might try and do that as well. And
I think it's got the good barrier.
There's a lot to like about it.
All right, Marzu, let's be quick about this one.
I think he's a better chance than the price suggests, because he ran third in the TJ behind I Wish I Win and Giga Kick. He was $7 that day. Third in the Doomman 10,000 behind Giga Kick and Overpass. He was well backed there. First up, forget he went around. He drew bad. He got poleaxed at the start. He got a long way back when the leaders just controlled it. That was the Overpass and Private Eye race. He obviously got cast in his box. The trial was okay, but it's not an ideal preparation, but he's better than a 70 to 1 chance or whatever he is.
I think you need to have an ideal prep.
Wrong.
Oh, sorry. Can we give Pat a buzzer? We'll send a buzzer down.
Yeah. I thought it goes Nick, me, then you.
Sometimes I get in there at the half-time entertainment.
I think it should be 170 to 1, and their only worry, I think, for this race is whether they should just take one of the emergencies and try with, say, Bella Nipotina as opposed to Mars.
That'd be nice. That'd be a good result.
Who couldn't win it when it was absolutely flying. So how will it...
Yeah, you're probably right. I
think it's had a decent setback in the lead up to this. And then prior to that setback, it did get bumped around in the beginning, but it was no good. It was no good in that race. Where was it?
I didn't think...
Yeah, Randwick over the 1100.
So many people said he was no good. I thought, like, he just blew out in the last furlong and just fitness gave way. I thought there was nothing wrong with the run, myself.
But maybe I was 1100. Watching. It's had a little... It's had...
Yeah. It's trialled in between. Red Zell got scratched in... Red Zell got scratched in his last lead-up and they went back to the trials and he won 2 Everests. So if the Snowdens can do it...
Yeah, I suppose if he was going to do it, Sam, Tommy Berry on board, that'd be a lovely redemption story for him this year.
I don't think he can win the race, but I think he's a better chance than his price suggests.
Shouldn't be, yeah. So his current price with Dabble's $51. Yeah. I'm really interested in both your take on this one. Number 5, Bernbagger Stable, obviously, we've got the connection there with Hildo, Overpass, Joshy Parr on board. Look, I think it's going to just jump out the front. It's not going to have any... I think it's going to get quite it's going to be an annoying run out front. I don't think it's just going to have that clear lead. It's currently, let me just have a look, $11 with Dabble. And this is like obviously we'll lock this in, but talk to me. I haven't had a bet. I haven't had my kind of like the bigger bet for the race. This is definitely firmly in the options to have. Tell me why I shouldn't back this horse, Nick.
Oh, well, you can back him because he's goes like a jet fresh. His 4 weeks between runs after just getting beaten by Private Eye, who's half his price, and he looks like the natural leader on paper. I don't think we can say sole leader because I think Alcohol Free is going to go
what's
forward.
Alcohol Free going to do?
I think she'll go forward. I think Hawaii 5-0. I think Marzu will all go forward. So he'll be in front for a bloody long way. And if it's a rock hard track, which they're saying, if you've got to be up on speed, and it could take a few of those back markers out of the race, and he's just tough. Like he ran second in that 10,000 behind Gigi Kick. He beat Amelia's Jewel in the Quokka. So good luck to him.
I think it's a crazy price. What do you think, Pat?
I think there's a difference between going forward and natural speed, where this horse just has that natural speed, whether they choose to go forward or not. It's going forwards.
Yeah.
Whereas the others that might think that they're going forwards, they're only going in to sit behind it. And this, I know we've made reference to Red Zell before, but this could be a dead set Red Zell moment for it, where there's no speed in the race, it jumps out, gets the lead, is allowed to have that breath in the middle of the race and kicks away, and it's whether something can run it down or not. And I that is exactly how I can see the race playing out. Do I think something will run it out? Yes. I think someone will run it down. Would I like to see it win? For sure. Will I be having a saver on it? 100% will, because this, looking at the history of this race, it has been won by horses like this before, where there's no speed in the race and they just get the that sort of boat race trip where they get to the turn and are able to kick off a slow speed. So, it's in it for a long way. And like for the Baker stable, and they are the leg up stable, sort of. They give a lot of information to the show. I just believe that it could be. It's set up for them this year to have a very to come close and possibly win it.
Yeah, I'd love to see. Buenos noches, gentlemen. Feel free to tighten these up a little bit if you don't have a heap to say on them.
Yeah. Easy. As we get down the bottom, easy.
Breathe through.
He was good in the Show County, but he beat Argentia and Dragonstone, and then he was probably a little bit stiff in the shorts, but I think maybe gets too far back in the run here. And the trial was okay, but it wasn't like, this thing's immoral in the Everest. So he might just be one of those horses that gets too far back and runs on into a good 5th or 6th.
Well, I disagree, Nick. I think this is the horse with the most potential in the race, and I reckon it's probably this sort of price because people look at it and think maybe it's a bit of a wet tracker looking at its record. It doesn't have the best good form. Matt Smith trains, probably a little bit more of the unknown trainers. I don't know. As much as I didn't expect to be putting a Matt Smith runner on top, I think Buenos Noches could be the horse this year that really just
on top
and blows them away. Blows them away. Yep.
Really?
On top.
Dylan Gibbons.
Yeah, Dylan Gibbons. He'll be riding with reckless abandonment. He'll be giving it the run of the race. Just, there's no panic about this kid. He'll give it a great ride.
Yeah.
I think it'll be motoring.
Wow, Buenos Noches on top for Patrick. Currently $13 with Dabble, $3.90 the place.
We would need something to take Overpass on, and that's sort of the hedge in the bet. Like I was talking about before, will I be having something on Overpass to make sure that if they do go slow and the back markers are taken out of it, it's Overpasses on a plate.
Where's he going? Where's Buenos Noches going to sit in this race? It's a back marker, isn't it?
Yes.
I've mapped him last.
He was going sideways.
He's back out there with, say, Shinzo and Private Eye, even maybe. I don't know.
He was going sideways last start though, when they were all going forwards, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry too much about how far back he gets, just as long as he's tracking in when they get to the straight and not cluttered up like it was last start.
Yeah, he might be able to follow Think About It into it.
Yeah, I'll let that unfold. I'll let Gibbons do that work.
Probably knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll leave it a deal. Okay, so there's our first one. Pat, Buenos noches on top. Hawaii 5-0, $13 with Dabble, J-Mac on board, G Waterhouse, and A Bot. There's got to be some love for Hawaii 5-0. Any from you?
Terrific chance.
Okay, here we go. Oh, the Golden Eagle. Okay.
Golden Eagle.
Yeah. I think he's more a 1400 miler. He was good behind Think About It, but if he couldn't beat Think About It with the run under his belt, I don't think he can beat him here.
Yeah, I agree. Hawaii 5 no for me.
Hawaii 5 no. Okay. Alcohol free. What did we say? I think I just said the price before on Dabble. It is 41s. Not a lot. Like I said, we haven't seen enough.
Haven't seen enough of her. She was good. She was okay first up behind Think About It. And Hawaii 5-0 there. She'll get a nice run. I think she'll go forward and just sit outside overpass and keep him honest and probably maybe set it up more so for Hawaii 5-0. But yeah, I don't think she can win.
I think it's I think alcohol free could be an issue for overpass.
Yeah, I think alcohol free, ridiculous name, and it is a no for me. I have seen enough.
Yeah. You've seen enough. In Secret, $10.
Yeah, I wish she drew a gate because she'd be on top for me.
Right, okay.
Well,
how close did you want it to sit?
I wanted her just to be sort of in there with a bit of cover. I didn't want to see it go back to last and have to try and come around them all. Like if she could have drawn barrier 3 and been, 4 pairs, even still 4 pairs back, but cover, card into it. But she's still a stupid price, and I can't believe she got out to $26 after the barrier draw, because you look at like just her SP profile, and she got beaten that 0.1 5 starts ago in the surround over 1400. She was a $2.30 favourite there. Then she won the Newmarket, blew them away, $6 chance there, started $6 in the TJ, and then this prep, she's been $4 over 1,000 metres behind Remark in the Concord, which short of her best, 1,100 metres, $3.10 favourite against Private Eye Overpass, and she was only beaten a length, so trial was good in between. She's just a silly, silly price, and you get, what, are we going to say world's best jockey, Zach Purden, or one of the top? He's a world-class jockey, so she's well and truly in this. Yep.
She's definitely in it. I just thought Buenos Noches came home better last start than it. The form beating a lot of the horses in this race was down the straight, which that straight form is a bit of a soup. Take nothing away from the win. It's a great win, but got to do it around the bend at Randwick against the best of the best. Yeah, obviously, top 5 for me. But yeah, not on top.
If she can be 3 wide with cover following Private Eye into it, I think she can peel off his back and go past Private Eye.
Hey, get up! That's where Buenos Noches is.
Yeah.
And I think if it's behind, if it's got a track Buenos Noches in, it
could be trouble. But hey, the stable will have her peaking 3rd up grand final.
I think they've come out and said that.
Yeah, and like we've sort of like I know they've got 2 in the race, but all along it's been in secret was going to be the Godolphin runner. She's been proper set for this.
A little bit of confidence there. Bit of confidence. What price do you get, Nick?
I think $15
is better than me.
I've got tickets. I think I've got like 11, 13, and 15. So
probably get that with the rocket on the day.
Probably, yeah. She's my best result on the race.
Oh, is she? Okay. I was going to ask that at the end. Espiona, $15 with Dabble, number 10. Huey.
She's a genuine live hope if there's pressure, if they run along and there's a little bit more speed in it than we think, because she had that boom. Like, people were talking her up as the next Winx early on in her career. She didn't find that form for a full preparation, but just the last 6 months she's sort of started to put it all together, and I don't think she really has put it all together, if that makes sense. I know she was on at Group 1 over 1,500 only 4 starts ago, but she was bloody good behind Sunshine in Paris in the Sherrico, and then she blew them away in the Golden Pendant. So good gate, cushy run, good jockey in Huey Bowman. She can win.
I think it's still got a lot to learn, Espiona, and it's 5-year-old now. It's got to stop with all the antics. It's still, like you said, hasn't put it all together. I think it's probably better back to mare's grade, and this is a bit out of its depth. And when the comparison to Winx is, we thought that at the start, but Winx wasn't going to probably come out and win an Everest.
Oh, Winx would have
for another time.
Winx would have won an Everest.
It's an argument for another time.
A nice one too, long one, that argument. No Espiona for me. Shinzo, $15. K-Mac.
Yeah. Shinzo would have had to have started yesterday, I think. He was probably better than I gave him credit for in that Golden Rose, and it was his first time 1400. He was first up in, 6 months out of a Golden Slipper, so, his form is probably...
Nothing went right in that Golden Rose either. And the wide draw too.
Yeah, I just think he gets too far back and Karen's legless.
He's just no
Slipper winners coming out to win another race, let alone win Group 1 races, is you should be getting this sort of price. But then into an Everest, I think the price should be big here.
Should I just have seeing as I backed it in the Slipper, should I just have a bet on the Everest so they just say the actual birthdays that it had?
If you want to keep your accounts open, have a bet on it.
Can actually honestly say I've never had an account closed.
If you're looking to win, probably just let that one go through to the keeper.
All right, Cylinder, another futures bet I've had here. $8.50 with Dabble currently. It's a bit of movement. It's come in, I think.
Yep.
Have a look.
You're big on the Blue Army. You're a big Blue Army fan.
Yeah, I just knew they were getting the slot, so I just backed them before they did.
The what? The what?
Huh?
The slots. Sorry, I thought you said something else.
Like pokies, yeah, slots. It's Cylinder. Any chance, Nick?
Yeah, this is your winner. This horse is... I was against him in the Golden Rose, but by gee, he was super. I wasn't happy with what I saw from him first up in the Vane Stakes, but he did enough to win. And then in the run to the Rose, he didn't have much luck, and I was sort of half worried about what he really did. But watching it again, he just exploded through that gap when it came, and he got the job done. And then in that Golden Rose, he jumped almost too well because looked like he was going to lead the race, ended up, 3 pairs back, 3 wide, no cover, and still had the audacity to travel into the race, loom into it, look the winner, and then get nailed by Militarized over the top late. He's drawn perfect just to stalk the speed. He gets blinkers on first time, which will improve him a length or two, and he gets in with only the 53 kilos. So we talk about Private Eye getting nailed by the 3-year-old this time 12 months ago. Cylinder's going to have an even better run than what Giga Kick did, and I think he will be the one finishing 2-1.
Mm-hmm. What prices?
Good words.
Have you got, Nick? Here's a little bit of insight.
Hopefully
this isn't one of you. I hope we don't add this to your futures tickets pile. I hope you cash this one, because this is the one I've done the best on.
Okay, yeah, well, I've had $11 is the average price. $11 is the only price I've taken. There you go.
Yeah, well, I disagree with Cylinder. I think we're giving extra
11s
because Giga Kick. Yeah. What'd you back it at?
15s.
Beautiful.
Oh, you'll be rich.
I'll be rich if it wins.
Rich.
They might all go on the pile, though.
Obviously, you don't agree with. Yes, okay.
Nah, I think there's extra weight being given to the 3-year-olds this year after what Giga Kick did last year. I don't think Cylinder's even the best 3-year-old in the country, and I don't know how it's going to come out and become the best sprinter in Australia. So, yeah, I definitely don't have it on top. I think In Secret will beat it home. It's not even the best Cummings runner in the race.
Okay. I don't know if we mentioned this before, but if you are a slot holder and God forbid something goes wrong the morning of Everest, you have to take one of the emergencies. Forget that I've got a ticket of 50s for Bella Nibertine. Forget that.
Okay.
Who do you take? Who do you take on why? Nick, you kick us off.
I take Volana because I think he's just bomb-proof and he can sit anywhere in the run. Like, he won first up last prep, 61 kilos, 3 wide, and was really strong late. So I think he's the horse. I don't think any of the emergencies could win the race, but I think Volana's the horse that you could do the most with.
Fucking disrespectful to Bella. Anyway, yeah, go Pat.
After an hour and 6 minutes, I'd be very surprised if any of the slot holders are still listening to this podcast. But
hey, it's the Everest special. We've got 5 fucking races to go through.
Out of these 4, Bella Nipotina would win by 10 lengths in this little four-person field down here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's in the Sydney Stakes. I haven't gone through them all yet.
Yeah, from barrier 16.
It is 16. Yeah.
Barrier 16. Mate, I don't lose sleep over the barriers. Bloody hell.
Clearly.
Okay.
You could do with some sleep.
Yeah, mate, you got bags under those eyes.
Bella Nip, it's coming out of the Premier Stakes. You're liking horses like Hawaii 5-0 out of that race, so think about it through it. It's what's it called? Yeah. It's got the right form coming into this.
What you call it? It's a moral.
Still don't know why Sportsbet have it at that price. It must have something to do with the deductions, like you mentioned, Nick.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Bella Nip, get into the race. Get it home. Okay, so how do we bet this, gentlemen? How do we add this to our double multi?
We can't lay on Dabble, can we?
No bookies bar one.
We have a same race multi, and we have Buenos Noches Cylinder in secret top 4.
Top 4.
Okay.
Don't do that. We would 1,000% be running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah.
I bet you if we did that, we'd leave the winner out. Have a top 3. Just have the trifecta. We'll probably tip the trifecta here.
So the trifecta is Buenos Noches.
Big chance. Yep.
Cylinder.
A lot has gone into this.
Yep.
Big Cummings presence.
Cummings presence.
What's the other one?
Secret.
In secret.
Wow,
just leaving. No, sorry, I wasn't sure if that was the third horse that we just mentioned. So think about it, just no love. Overpass, just no love. Doesn't get in there.
Overpass can go into the first 4.
Overpass can go into the first 4.
Joe Pride sitting at dinner tonight with him is going, first, second, how many will get in the top 3? We're leaving the whole gang out in the Pride stable.
100%.
I hope the Blue Army wins the war against the proven Thoroughbreds Army.
Okay. Maybe you wear a blue suit like you're out of bloody Willy Wonka or something like that.
I've got a blue shirt with a pink tie.
Ooh.
Wear full blue. Blue shirt, blue suit, blue tie.
Hey, look, it's that guy from the Blue Man Group.
And then wear white gloves. You look like a smash.
Papa.
I'm blue. That'll work. So, Patrick, you've ended with Buenos Noches on top. Nick, you've gone with Cylinder on top. I'm saying, for me, it's. I'm back and think about it, and I'm backing Overpass. They're the 2 I'm backing. So Overpass has to go on the 3. In secret can flick.
Yeah, I want to say one Overpass.
Rude. You can't have all your picks, Nick. It's not some segment called Nick's Picks. Oh, that is good. We've got a real problem here as well. I'm at the in-laws' house. I've been on podcasts for nearly 3 hours, and I'm busting to do a PWO, and the plumber's just turned up.
What for? Hopefully to check your pipe.
They're back on the bush, so I'll just go for a bushwalk. Just go waist deep in the creek.
Maybe Woodhead. Maybe this will drive people over to the Dabble multi. If we say you've got to go and check your Dabble for our multi that you're going to post on there, we'll all share it, and they'll see our multi on there, and we can give us a bit of
surprise them
to have a think about
it.
But
no surprises. People have just listened to a fucking hour and 10 minutes of us. We tell them what the bet is. Please reward those people.
Well, maybe we've got to leave the Everest out. Maybe the Everest is a separate bet.
Okay, let's do a separate on the Everest. But prior to that, our other 4 races, we've got Militarized, Alligator Blood, Amelia's Jewel, and Mr. Brightside. It's at a place multi. It's currently at a fat $3.04.
Let's have the 4 of them to win. I think that'll get it.
Do you think?
Yeah, it'll get in.
Yeah, 230 to the power of 4.
Yeah, it'll be about 28 to 1, I reckon.
All right, if we sneak in under 30, we're having it.
Dentist dream that multi.
Yeah, 230.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's it. $27 98.
Wow. I said 28 to 28, and that was all up here.
It was all up there.
I've had a lot of Maltese.
Up here's for dancing.
Oh no, something's gone out of touch because we've just flopped above that $30 mark.
31.88.
Get it on.
What I would say is...
Oh, no, I don't want to cop the backlash from the overlords.
Throw Militarize in for the place.
No way, Militarize the one that stays in.
No. Too much, mate. Caulfield Guineas is the... there's too many chances in that. You got a horse that's going.
Okay, if we go Militarize the place, everyone listening to this, back at the win. Because if we have 4 horses in a multi and we go 3 win, 1 place, without a doubt, the one thing that's going to come through on that fucking multi is Militarize win. So we're going to go. I've lost it. That's just brilliant. So I can remember off the top of my head, really, Militarize the place, Alligator Blood the win, Amelia's Jewel the win, and
Mr. Brightside
the win. So we'll put that up on the leg up. Or is it leg up now?
The leg up.
Fuck, I don't know. Just look us up, the leg up. It'll get you there. Okay. On top for me. Now let's just get Everest out of the way. I don't know what we're going to. How are we going to bet this?
Give us one horse. One horse.
Think about an overpass.
No, you got to give me one.
One.
Just one horse. Otherwise, we'll have to cut you.
Oh, it'd just be so good for Hildo if Overpass won the Everest.
Perfect. Overpass, bonus notches, cylinder, top 4.
Yeah.
Multi them all up.
Mate, the kids love same race multis. Have same race multis and have... Think about it in there as well. I don't know, in secret.
No, we'll just do the 3 top...
Oh,
you only do 4.
No, you can't. You can do more. No, you can't do that. You can't have 5 horses to go.
How can you...
Try top
4. Well, I'm busting the seams. All right, beauty. Lock it in.
I've got one around the grounds for you.
Give us one.
$1 million chase at Winnie Park on Friday night.
Postman, Pat. Postman.
I'd love to tip Postman Pat, but friends of mine have the 7 in at One Hot Bandit. They've got a small share, so let's be cheering that on. Hopefully it gets up, fingers crossed.
I'll be there at Wentworth Park on Friday night. And
will you?
Yep, and we're all on Postman Pat at about $6 or $7 in the early market.
Oh, wow.
What price is it now?
He's $2 favourite, $2.10 favourite, I believe. So let's give the Postman Patch strength. We're all there in our postman suits, and our black and white cats are with us. And
if you're in Sydney, Nick's down there. He's going to be drinking at the Lord Roberts Hotel in Surrey Hills. It is a great pub.
I think it'll be at the Coogee Pavilion.
Oh, you pulled the pin, have you?
No. I'll be at the Lord Roberts.
Be at the Low Row Ho. It's a great spot. Go see Mark down there and
walk down to Winnie Park.
Walk down Winnie Park. Perfect, mate. Perfect
Yep.
night. I really hope you guys have a unbelievable weekend. I hope you have a absolute fill up, as I do to all punters listening to this. And obviously, if you're going to have a bet this weekend, do so responsibly.
And do it with Dabble.
And do it with Dabble.
Thanks, boys.
There he is.
Cheers.